to Crafters TV, another fabulous couple of hours coming your way. And this time, of course, we are in the craft house. Who knows who's going to pop in when we're in the craft house? The first person that's going to be, well, who knows? Actually, do you know what? Let's cross live to the other side of the studio. I mean, who could it possibly... Me! There he is!
Thought I'd do a bit of a Rey Mysterio there and just jump out. We've even got our spring platform here at the bottom here.
Very own Jack in the Box. How are you, Scotty Hottie?
I'm doing... I'm doing very well, thank you. Caught me off guard there. I'm doing very well. I am ready to go for this Saturday, well, Saturday afternoon here in the UK, and we are on Craft House and doing something I've not done for a wee while, but I absolutely love doing, and that is a bit of flower forming foam. I'm going to be going over the demonstrations. I know, Joe, you've got incredible bundles to show us.
There's great deals on this. We've got some sort of spring-summer stuff. We've got some winter stuff covered as well. If you wanted to get into flower forming for the first time, we've also got you covered there too, which is absolutely awesome. Just before I introduce our very special guest, Craig, whet our appetite, if you will, as to some of the techniques that you're going to be sharing with us over the next couple of hours.
So what we're going to be doing is, if you are a complete beginner when it comes to flower forming, we're going to start off and show you how you can do really nice, very simple, but really realistic flowers. They're going to go onto your cards because obviously they're really, really delicate. But then what you can then do is then you can just go on and incorporate them into your actual mixed media, whether you're going to do a banner for your hair, or maybe you're doing any of your frames, anything like that. But then what we're going to do is, the foam is heat reactive. So we're going to bring in some heat. We're going to be using a craft iron, but you can be using a craft iron or even a home iron or even a travel iron. You could be using a heat gun if you want. That's going to activate the foam, so we're going to start to shape it, whether it's with our ball tools, whether it's our distress tools. So we're going to get extra shape to it, extra dimension to it. But what happens is once it's cool, it doesn't take long to cool, but once it cools, it becomes really robust. So you don't need to worry too much about, say for instance, you are doing a bit of Christmas decorations. You can pop them in the box, in the packaging, away for 10 months or so, and then you can bring them back out later on, and you know that they're going to be nice, sturdy, and they're not going to do any damage whatsoever. So right from a beginner, and we're going to go more advanced as well.
Awesome. Really excited. Loads of you chatting away already and saying hi. Ro is in, one of our previous guests on the craft. I see Jill is here. Peggy's in upstate New York. Renata from Germany. It's lovely to have some European viewers in. I see Joe and Aldrina, Kay, Sharon, Ray, Fred. Hannah Horn is in as well. Hello, Hannah. Lovely to have so many of you with us. As I said, flower forming. I'm going to run you through all the deals that we've got on the show in just a minute, but not before we meet our most specialist of guests for this show, and that is the lovely Bianca. Bianca, so lovely to have you back on the show again, looking very glamorous, may I say, in Milton Keynes.
Put the makeup on today.
How have you been? Did you have a lovely Christmas and New Year? I know it's a bit different for a lot of us, wasn't it? But did you still manage to celebrate in some way?
Yeah, it was a quiet one, but we still managed to enjoy our Christmas, thank you. And you?
Yeah, it was really nice, thank you. Small but perfectly formed is what I would say to describe it. For anyone that's not met you, Bianca, before, I know that you are on a design team, haven't you? But how long have you been using Crafters Companion products for? How did you get started?
Well over 10 years now. I've been crafting with Crafters Companion stuff, and I got through it when I was on maternity leave and came across the shopping channel and got hooked from there.
And that was how you got started. That was what got you hooked.
Yeah.
And flower forming then, is this something that you do a fair bit of?
I love flower forming, yeah. I do a lot of that, just sit and relax. I used to be a florist, so anything to do with flowers I love.
How does crafting with flower forming differ to like actually making real floral arrangements?
Not so much really, because I can make arrangements with the flower forming foam, and obviously they're long lasting, they'll last forever compared to your fresh flowers. And you could be a little bit more artistic with the flower forming foam. You can colour it whatever you like, and really go to town with it.
They don't happen to what happened to my houseplant Stephanie at the house. I was away for 4 weeks over Christmas and New Year, Bianca. I got back, Stephanie was crispy. In the bin
Oh,
she
dear.
goes. The flower
Really?
forming ones, you see, that doesn't happen. You don't need to water them, you don't need to look after
No.
them. If you're like me, not green-fingered in the slightest, you'll be absolutely fine. Right, I know we're going to be dropping into you, Bianca, over the next couple of hours. You're going to be doing a bit of crafting along with us as well, I hope.
Yeah, I've got some foam all cut out, ready to go. I'm going to make some flowers up and hopefully have a couple of finished projects by the end of it.
Ah, awesome. I'm really excited to see what you come up with and also see some of the things you've been making as well as we go through the next couple of hours. Right,
Excellent.
I am going to then run you through what is on the show because there's absolutely... Do you know what? I was looking at the lineup yesterday and I said to Craig yesterday, it's chock-a-block full because that is exactly what it is. What we've got for you, the most recent launch actually when it comes to our flower forming dies are these, and it's our winter collection that we launched not so long ago. They are a really gorgeous, inspiring collection of different flowers for you that I know you're going to absolutely love. So this is the first one you're getting in the collection. This is your Poinsettia that you've got just there, which is absolutely gorgeous. You're also going to get as well the Ivy, which is this one just here. So this is that upside down, Craig, or is it me?
I know.
Is it that way around or is it that way
Because
around?
Ivy's usually trailing, isn't it? So
We're going to go that way, yeah? Okay, thanks. Thanks for keeping me right. I mean, they were so helpful in the gallery there. I don't know if you heard them falling over themselves to tell me which way around it went, Craig.
no, didn't work.
It was like a tumbleweed moment. They're like, ooh. You're going to get the Ivy included as well. I'm in one of those moods, Craig, I warn you.
I think we both are.
Yeah, we both are. You're also going to get the holly in here as well, which is absolutely awesome. This one here, this is the autumn leaves, which is great. Really love that. And I think that's going to be great to use all the year round. And actually, I actually think you could bring that into maybe more tropical themes with some more brightly coloured flower foam, rather. This one here is your winter rose. Really fantastic, great to use in a whole host of different colours. One of Craig's absolute favourites, I know, is the pine cone, which is that one just there. And finally as well, we've got the foliage for you. You get all of those. I can't quite believe you get them all for that price. I mean, we did check it before the hour and it is absolutely correct. £35 if you're in the UK. That becomes £28 if you're a Club Inspired Platinum member. Across in the US, $52. Platinum members, $54 if you're a Platinum member, $43.20 is what.
Can I just check, Joe, right? And this is going to be one of those, oh yeah, that's all typical shopping
Already in the gallery, they're
TV.
like,
yeah,
oh,
they're
here we
like,
go.
Here we go, right? Honestly, this isn't typical shopping TV. But I've just noticed, I thought you got the dies with it. Is that the foam as well? And the stamens? It's on the screen. See, we get a list as well, and I honestly thought that was just the dies. I didn't realise that was the foam as well as the stamens.
No, I think we're looking at two different. We've confused ourselves here. So, all of the dies that I've just shown you are the Gemini Winter Flower Foaming. Try that again. Gemini Winter Flower Forming Foam Die Collection was what I just showed you. So I think we might have the wrong details on the screen. So that's it there. Thank you, Craig. £41 or $52 was the correct price there. $32.80 or $41.60 if you're a Platinum member. Now, the other option that we've got, so that is what all of that lovely lot looks like for you. You can see that just there. Now, the other option that you've got is the Learn to Flower Form Foam Collection. Honestly, it's a real tongue twister, this show. There's some absolute corkers in here for you. Now, what you're going to get in this collection is awesome. You're going to get 3 of our flower dies in there. So you're going to get the floral, sorry, you're going to get the lily, you're also going to get the clover, and you're going to get the leaves and vines as well. So they are your 3 dice collections down there along the base. And you can see some of the awesome things you're going to be making with that. You're then going to get 2 packs of the flower forming foam. So you're going to get 7 of the green and you're going to get 7 of the wonderful floral bouquet. This one's a whole host of different colours in there for you, which is awesome. So you get all of that and you get the stamens as well. Now that is £35 or this was the details I was giving you earlier. £35 or £28 as a Platinum member, $54 or $43.20 as a Platinum member if you want to get hold of those as well. Now, if you want to, if you've already got lots of foam and you've got stamens and all of that, but you're thinking, do you know what, I love the look of those 3 dies that are in there, well, we've got another bundle for you where you get the 3 dies that are in this collection, as well as these 3 dies as well, which is awesome. So you're going to get the foliage, the clover, and also the lily it was, wasn't it, in that other collection there. But then what we're going to give you is the peony, which is that one there. You're also going to get the schmetterlings, which are the dainty butterflies, and you get the doily with the border. And the doily and the border are about grounding your bouquets, your posies. They give you something to put them on, if you will. If you want to get that collection, $53.50 or $75 if you want to get that collection. If you're a platinum member, your savings $29.14 or $40.70, which is absolutely awesome value for money, however you look at it, which is fantastic. Loads of you still chatting away. Craft House is probably my favourite show, says Susan Rushton. I love meeting the other crafters in the community. Evelyn says hello again from Colorado. Peggy says I'm super excited. We'll make foam flowers right along with Craig. Never did them. Have lots of dyes and foam ready to go. Evelyn wants to know, Craig, how do you think the foliage and the autumn leaf dyes would work with cardstock?
No problem at all. These dies are going to die cut your foam, no problem, but what they're also going to do is they're going to die cut your cardstock, they're going to die cut your papers. So when I say cardstock, yes, it's going to be our white card, our black card, our craft card, but it's still going to cut your glitter card, it's still going to cut your acetate and that as well. So it's not just solely for your foam, use it with your cardstock. However, take your flower dies that you've got from your die collections and use them with your foam as well. So you can absolutely mix and match, no problem whatsoever.
Awesome. Always good to know. Any questions that you've got, and I think flower forming is definitely one of those ones where over the course of time, as you see it demonstrated more, you'll have more questions as we go along. Send them in to me. You can do that, of course, on Facebook, Crafters TV, search for Crafters Companion over on YouTube as well. You can get in touch with me there. And also, maybe you've made loads of awesome things with the flower forming collections, foam flower collections that we've brought to you in the past. I'd love to see all of those creations. studio@craftscompanion.co.uk. Send me your pictures in. I would love to see some of those there. Right, Craig, where are we going to start then today with our flower forming adventures?
Right, I think, well, we start right at the beginning. So we'll bring in that foam pack that we have got, whereas you've got that nice selection of different colours of your foam. But then we'll also bring in that die set that we were showing. Actually, we'll basically start with that second set that you showed, Joe, that you've got some of your actual flower dies as well as the foam and the stamens that are in them ones. So we'll keep that nice and simple. So let's go for the clover for this one here, because we've got the clover, haven't we? Yeah. So let's take that one. So what we're going to do is, with these ones, these look exactly just like our die cutting dies, as we were saying a moment ago how you'd be able to use them. The only difference, you've got your solid background. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Usually you'll find within a paper die what would happen is you'd get more of a centre piece, like an aperture piece. This is a full bit, but it's not going to make any difference. Like your cardstock, these are going to go through your large Gemini, your junior, your mini, even going to go through your midi as well. That's what I'm going to be using as well. If you are using your large Gemini or your Gemini junior, you don't need to change your plate configuration. It's exactly the same as you would be doing if you're doing cardstock. So it's your 2 cutting plates, magnetic shim, and your plastic shim as well. But the good thing with these as well is if you are thinking, you know, you're wanting to make maybe a big collage of flowers, maybe a bouquet of flowers, you don't have to just do individual flowers. What you can then do is layer up your foam, multiple layers, and you can die cut so many at once. So for instance, what we'll just do for this one, I'm just folding it so that we've got 3 layers on top of each other. And then let's bring in our midi. As I say, I'm going to use the midi so you can show that if you are maybe on a smaller area, maybe you've just got the Gemini Mini with the mini folder, then of course you can be doing that, sitting at a little table on the chair, creating your flowers. So what I'm going to do is let's take another one.
Do you know what I'd like to know, Craig?
What's
in
that?
The show today, in the comments, I would like to know everyone's favourite flower. Everyone's favourite flower. Let me know what your favourite flower is. Maybe it's one we have a die for. Maybe it's one we don't yet have a die for. Mine was always lily, Craig, was always my favourite. But
Lily.
Recently, I bought some bird of paradise flowers for the flat. They last absolutely forever. I don't know if they're really a flower or they're more of a a branch, I don't know. But they were absolutely beautiful and I love them. Let me know what your favourite flower is over in the comments on Facebook and of course on YouTube as well. What's yours, Craig?
Well, mine, so I'm not one to have flowers about the house. I do have a few that are...
the house.
The house.
About the house.
Don't really have much flowers loose about the house. But what I do tend to do is have a couple of artificial ones, but I have them from... it's a brand, but it's also a flower. Peonies. I do like the peonies, so I have a few of them dotted about the house. So I do
Peony
like them.
Peony is the boss's favourite flower as well, you know. So
I
if you're ever in the doghouse and you need a quick escape route, bunch of peonies. I mean, I'm not in the doghouse. I'm told a bunch of peonies is the best way out, Craig. So there's a little top tip from me to you.
I'm going to keep that in mind because you just never know when I'm going to need that.
You never do. What about across in the gallery? Favourite flowers? Daffodils for Johnny. Adam? Sorry?
Petulant.
A succulent.
Oh, succulent.
Sorry.
I think you said petulant. It was sounded like a petulant child.
A succulent, so like a cactus, that kind of thing, like the sort of thing you get. Oh. Tell you what I do like, Craig.
Actually, that makes sense, actually.
Does
that makes sense. Yeah.
Why?
Take it any way you want. Just don't take it that way. Just do not take it that way.
Oh gosh, it didn't take long, did it? Do you know what I do like though? You know those little terrariums that you can buy, which are like the little glass. You like the word? Terrarium. Yes, terrariums are awesome with a little gravel in the little sort of like the little greenhouse thing. We're 15 minutes in and the wheels are coming off already. The train has derailed, Craig. Right, let's take it down a notch, bring it back.
Yeah, no, I do. I like that word, terrarium. Mr. Philip Schofield says it in a really good terrarium. Terrarium. I do terrarium.
You are our very own Philip Schofield, aren't you, from this Monday? You're going to be waking up with Craig every Monday, Craig. It's exciting, isn't it? Go on, tell us all about it. Give us a little bit of a sneaky peek of what's happening this Monday.
Absolutely. So obviously, if you've not seen your emails yet, you know, you do get your newsletter each day. Go across onto our website, and then what you'll be able to do is sign up to our newsletter, because we have had them out from Sarah, just letting us know that from Monday our schedule is changing. Our 1 p.m, 4 p.m. shows in the UK, obviously same time in the US. They're staying the same, but we're getting additional, 2 shows. We're getting an hour craft vault in the morning, UK time, 1 later on at night time, obviously UK time. You get them in the States wise. However, 9 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, which I appreciate is about 4 a.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. Pacific time.
It could be getting in from the pub time on the West Coast though, 1 a.m.
Yeah. And I know so many will still be up round about 1 a.m, 2 a.m, because as a crafter, I know I'm exactly the same. So it's going to be a wake-up call with Craig. So it's going to be, for an hour, we're going to be live. It's just going to be me live, me with the iPad, chatting away to you, doing bits of it behind the scenes. I'm taking, I'm going to tell you, I'm taking 3 picks from 3 of the shows throughout the day, and we'll show you my take on them quite quickly. But then what we're going to do is we're going to build over the weeks. It's going to then be building so that I could then be just running into head office next door when they're unannounced and speaking to some of them, chatting to them. We're going to have games over time. We'll have competitions. Going to have interviews. We're going to be bringing people in. People are going to be Skyping in as well. My plan is to be doing some pranks and that as well over time. I've got full control. It's going to be the same team. It's Monday to Friday for an hour. It's going to be myself. Then in the gallery, we've got Erin and we've got Liam. And trust me, with them two, anything can happen as well. We're going to be using this full studio, and we're going to have monitors everywhere, cameras everywhere. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. Yes, very, very exciting. Make sure you join Craig for that. The launch, of course, 9 a.m. On Monday this week, which will be absolutely awesome. He's cock-a-hoop, he's so excited. Right, back to you, Craig.
So what I've just done is I've die cut them out. Now that was the 3 layers that I have cut with the Gemini folder, the mini that was, or the MIDI that I was just using. So I've cut the 3, no problem. 3 on the middle size, and then on the smaller one, I took another bit of foam, and that's even die cut 4, no problem at all. So that's then going to be die cutting even more. It's going to cut up more. When it comes to our Gemini Junior, on one of the dies, I was able to cut up to 10 layers. potentially even more. So what we're going to do is relatively quite a simple one, just to start to shape it. We've also got our ball tools on the show as well. So you've got your 3 tools, but you've actually got 6 ends, so you've got 6 different rounded shapes of your ball tools on these ones. You've also got your foam mat. Your one will be nice and white and clean. Mine's is
they're much bigger, aren't they, than like parchment tools as well? They're specifically designed for this use, Craig.
Absolutely, yeah. You can use them with your paper crafts. However, what you'll find with these, the way that these, like many of our products, with all them being done and manufactured and come up with liaison and product development, within these ones here, what these do is these retain the heat slightly. Now, I don't mean by you're going to hold it and it's going to be warm or that, but what's going to happen is that heat that's just transferred through from the foam is kind of going to do a bit of a bounce back, going to give you that bit longer to shape. So what I'm going to then do is I'm going to bring in my, this is now a craft iron that I have got. Now, this one here, it can be a house iron, a home iron, could even be a little travel iron. This is a craft one where you do get the little arm. However, I don't use that. I just pop it on flat. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to bring in a few tweezers.
A lot of people very excited about waking up with a Scotty Hottie every morning, Monday to Friday, Craig. Angela, can't wait for the new show. Sue, I get to craft with Craig first thing in the morning. I'm up at 6:30 a.m. with my husband, so I can't wait. It's going to be staying up late with Craig for me here in California. Susan, I mean, I don't know when you're going to find the time. You guys on the West Coast, I genuinely don't know when you're going to find the time to sleep. I don't. You're going to all be on Crafters TV time in no time.
Let's just hope I'm up in time. I think I'm going to be setting about 6 alarms just to make sure that I don't sleep
I think wake up with Craig is a much better idea than wake up with Joe, because as we all know, waking up is not my forte. It really isn't.
Mr. Cranky Pants in the morning.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm the opposite. You can peel me from the ceiling. So what we've got now is, I've just taken my tweezers. Obviously, do be careful, because obviously you don't want to burn yourself if you are using a heat source. So all that I'm doing now is, let's even just bring in a pokey tool in case I need. Instantly, when this goes onto the heat, you're going to start to curl and start to shape. So I'm going to pop that one on. We can see how it starts to curl up. I'm going to pop that on. This one, I'm just going to take my largest end ball tool, and we're just doing a simple shaping for this one, nothing overly complicated. Just going round and round. If you do want to actually hold it in your hand, you can do. That's up to yourself. So I'm just going to be shaping it that way. What you can do, we'll do it in the next demonstration, is you can then come along and you can start to shape the petals more by rounding or going round the end of the ball tool with your thumbs. So we'll just do a smaller one at the moment. What we'll do is that's one of the largest ones. And then what we'll do is we'll now bring in one of the medium ones. And I'm just going to do exactly the same on this one here. Just going to go round and round just to shape it lightly.
Would you agree? I mean, there's lots of different brands of foam, isn't there, out there on the market,
yeah,
Craig? You know, from very, very expensive, high end, all the way through to much more budget brands. I think personally, and I'm sure you'd agree with me, the fact that you heat set our foam really does make a difference. I've worked with other foams before in the past where you don't heat set them, and they can look wonderful, Craig, when they're made or when they're first constructed, but they go into an envelope, they're packed away into a box. Maybe it's something that you only get out every winter. Maybe you've got like a lovely wintry floral box frame, for instance. With ours, they come out and they're as good, aren't they, as when they go in, whereas I've seen a lot of them that, well, they look like they've been sat on, frankly, don't they? Whereas ours always seem to keep that lovely, full, lush feeling to them.
They do, absolutely. And even if they have, if something's been sitting on them in a box or something, because they're really robust, once they heat, they become really, really robust, or I should say once they're cooled, they become really, really robust. So then all you want to do is, we'll show you with a few samples later on, just lightly with your hand, just give a little bit of a roughage over the top, and then they're just going to come to life again. But simply just create really quick flowers just with our white foam. You can be colouring them with any of your inks or your pens. So we've taken the large, a medium and 2 small ones just here. Then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to bring in some stamens. So we've got these in one of the actual collections as well. Yours come all bunched nicely in individual colours. Mine's are all together basically. So what I'm going to do is let's take a few. Let's take a couple of the grey ones just so that you can actually see within the white. I tend to take between 6 and 8, so 2, 4, 5, so let's do 6 because I've got 6 there. Because what happens is you're actually going to turn them over, so therefore you're going to double them. So this one here will then become 12. So I've got them all lined up just nicely together onto my mat here. Let's just pop them there so you can see them a bit better. Then what to do is, if you go out into the store, you know, a DIY store or a craft store, and just get some really, really fine jewellery wire or anything that is really, really ultra fine that you can start to bend it and even just snip it when it comes to your fingers. That's going to help for you to actually feed through the stamens. So what I'll do is let's take just some of my scissors. So this is a longer bit, so I'm just cutting it in half, and then what I'm doing is I'm just going to pop this through the middle. So what we're doing is we're creating kind of a bit of a little, try to think, not so much a point, but like a feeding aspect. So we can actually feed this bit through the foam, centre of the flowers, so that you've got them that are going to sit nicely into the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm just twisting, so I'm just holding the tips of the stamens just here with my fingers. So I'm just holding them here, and then all that I'm doing is I'm just twisting the wire. So I'm just twisting it so that we get to a nice point. And then once I'm happy that I've twisted it enough, I'm just going to just shorten that slightly just by snipping
A lot of people
off.
talking about making or using these dies, Craig, with other things. So a lot of people talking in the comments about cardstock, mulberry papers, vellum is something else people are talking about. I think you look at the dies and you think, well, maybe it has to be foam that you use for these, but they are versatile, aren't they? There's lots of other things that you can cut with these.
Of course you can, yeah, absolutely. You can just think of them as normal dies. As I say, you can be using your papers, your vellums, any of your mediums like you're saying. The only thing is that we've just designed them and released them to come out with your flower foam. And the reason being as well, let's bring this one back here. So we've got our flower that was just starting to curve up that you can see there, keeping it really simple. Let's also bring one that we've not done now. Can you see, from these ones here, we've got a larger area within the middle. And what I mean by that is the little cuts of the petals, they don't come all the way in. That's what would tend to happen with a normal die cut and die. But you need this larger aperture within the middle so that when you go to feed through your pokey tool through the middle, it's not going to split. So that's one of the main differences from the actual flowers or the flower dies from the flower forming, but you can absolutely still use any of your other ones. And you can, if you want as well, some on the team, they'll put little bits of hot glue in between each bit. But what I'm just doing is I'm just going to go all the way around. I'm just nicely using it just with my fingers. Then what I'm going to do now is if I just take my actual stamens. Now, because we've started to feed them through with my pokey tool, then what I'm going to do is just with my fingers, I'm going to hold that together. Then I'm just going to use the point of the wire just to feed through. And then this is where you can then determine, you know, whether you want to have the stamens so they're sitting really nice and proud within the middle of the flower, or you can pull them in and really start to pull them so they're nice and curled in within the middle. Once again, I'm just going to offset these petals. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in some hot glue, and I'm going to just pop a little bit of hot glue just round the base of where the stamens are. Underneath.
Diane's asking, Craig, what gauge of wire are you using?
Now, I get asked this quite a lot. The gauge of the wire, I don't know. All I can say is it is the thinnest of thin wire. As I say, it is so flexible, so bendable. You can snip it with your scissors, so thin.
So like a sort of like a, is it like a floristry wire or
It's thinner than floristry wire. I believe it's some kind of jewellery wire, but it's the real thin jewellery wire.
That makes sense,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, so the thinnest wire that you can get then, Diane, I guess, would be the answer to that. Willow also asked, will an embossing heat tool work with these rather than an iron, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that later on as well. So you'll get a different look on that one, because what you're going to do is you're going to bunch all the flowers together at the same time and then use your heat tool to go all the way around. So you can do, it's no problem at all. But you get a bit more control if you use them with an iron. That's not to say you can't use an iron. You can absolutely use a heat tool if you want. If you really want to persevere, you can just use your thumbs, that I'll show you shortly, and the heat from your thumbs, but that will also activate it. But to get the instant heat, if you use a craft iron, home iron, or a travel iron. So all that I've done now is I've just popped that hot glue onto the back. Now, as I say, you can if you want to, because some do pop little bits of hot glue in between each layer. I just pop it onto the base layer. And then once it's dried. I'm going to just snip that away. That's going to give us a bit of a flat base so we can pop it onto our projects. And then again, I'm just going to go around just with my fingers, and then even just something as simple as that, we can then go, let me get a grab of it, get a hold of it. We've got a nice little flower, a little closed cup flower. You can use just the small dies if you want, just use all the large dies if you want, mix and match, it's entirely up to you. You can get lots of different looks, lots of different shapes. But as I say, you can be colouring the flowers or the foam, so although you've got colour within the packs, you can still add additional colour if you want. So keeping it very, very simple, die cutting, a bit of heat, and just starting to create a flower like that. It can look really pretty.
Absolutely beautiful, Craig, really, really is. Let me just recap what you are going to get in that collection. Learn to flower form with the dies, the foam and the stamens. So what you're going to get in here is you're going to get both collection of the foam, sorry. So you're going to get the foliage green, and you're also going to get the floral bouquet in there, which is lovely. You're then going to get the stamens, which are just down here, and then what you're going to get is you're going to get the 3 die collections there. So you've got the leaves and vines, you've also got the lily, and you've got the clover there as well. So all 3 of those dies. £35 or $54 to get all of that is a really awesome price. However, if it's just dies you're after, maybe you've already got loads and loads of foam, you think I need some more dies, what we've got is another collection where you get the 3 dies I was showing you there, the clover, the lilies, and the foliage and vines. And then you also get these 3 awesome ones as well. So you get the peony, which is this one just here. You're also going to get the butterflies in there. And you're then going to get as well the doily and the doily border, which is great for grounding your floral projects onto. Really awesome deal there. $53.50 becomes $42.80 as a platinum member, or $75 becomes $60 as a platinum member there as well, which is absolutely awesome. Now, the Craft House isn't about us, of course. It is all about you guys. And we are joined, of course, every week by one of our fabulous crafters, and Bianca is with us this week. How are you getting on there, Bianca? I could see you on my monitor here in the studio, beavering away there, crafting along.
Yeah, I've been making a little bouquet, which I've just finished.
Wow.
So,
have you made that in this show already?
Yeah, I made a few flowers earlier.
Wowzers. That is absolutely awesome.
There we go. So I used the doily die as well, just to bring it all together.
Beautiful. It really is gorgeous. And what flowers have you used in there, Bianca?
So in there I've used the peony, the lily, I've got in there the clover and the winter rose as well, which I think is also available. Absolutely
gorgeous, really lovely to see them all together. Because the thing is as well, we talk about using these on cards, but you can use them on lots of things, like there as like a little posy. They look wonderful, don't they? But corsages, I've seen loads of cute headbands done with them as well.
Yeah, corsages, buttonholes, anything really.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, a little birdie tells me you've got loads of stuff there that you've been making, yes. And you've got some bits that you'd like to share with us. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've got another couple of cards.
Oh, I love that.
Where I've used the clover die again, and then the flowers and vines.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Craig, these are beautiful, aren't they?
Absolutely, they're really, really are. I'm loving the colour tones that you've got throughout as well. But just going back to that first one that you showed a moment ago, it just goes to show as well, just doesn't have to be cards. You can keep them as very, very simple as just making a couple like I've done. But then as you've just done as well there at Bianca, not only is it dimensional, it's something, it's a keepsake. It's something that obviously you'd be used for a special occasion and then be able to keep and actually have out for people to see. You can bet your bottom dollar as well, they would say as well, oh my gosh, where did you get that? Imagine being able to say that you've made it.
Yeah, and they can keep it forever. It's a nice little gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've also just made a peony as well that I've just stuck on the top of the jar.
I love that. Wow.
So that was just a candle which I've taken the wax out of, and then I've just stuck the peony on the top there.
Makes such a massive difference to what is just a plain jar, doesn't it? I mean, if you wanted to just buy a load of plain jars and put some flowers on top of them, give them as gifts. Some people I know, Bianca, love making their own candles as well. So imagine if you were making candles and then doing the little floral jar lids. Yeah, I mean, really just so beautiful. What is your favourite flower, Bianca? We've been talking about it in the comments. Loads of people have been letting us know.
I've got too many. I haven't got one specific.
Well, I tell you what, how about we compromise, and seeing as you are the most special guest of the show today, we let you have 3. How about that?
Okay. So I'd say Peony is definitely a favourite. Ranunculus is another favourite.
Nice.
And then Lily as well.
Gorgeous. 3 gorgeous collections. You sound like a very classy lady to me, Bianca. They were 3. They are 3 very, very classy and elegant flowers, which is awesome. Right, Bianca, if it's okay, we're going to drop back in on you a little bit later in the show, if that is all right. I could see. I wish I could have been watching Bianca through the show. I could see how busy she is working away when we leave. We need a second. We need a second camera to see what exactly is going on because it looks like there's a lot of. Looks like there's a lot of crafting going on over there, is all I'll say. So it's good that you're staying busy. Right, we'll drop back in with Bianca in a little while. I want to go back through. A lot of you were talking to me about your favourite flowers. Aisha says, hello Craig, the Scotty Hottie. Running a little late today, but I didn't want to miss this lesson. Shannon's favourite flower is daisy. Renate says that she loves tulips. It would be a rose for Sue. Peggy loves daisies and pansies. Pam, PPE Pam from Berkshire says, hello Joe and Craig, was sorting out this morning to make some foam flowers as I've started to make the shadow box that Fiona made yesterday. Did you see this, Craig? I think this is, it might be a prime contender for demo of the week at this rate.
I think so.
Looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it?
It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Rebecca saying she loves lilies and orchids. Now, is an orchid a flower or a plant?
An orchid?
None of us know.
Well,
I certainly don't know. Because an orchid, you only ever really see it in soil, don't you, an orchid? You don't ever have it in a sort of bouquet of something.
Well, if you've ever seen that film, Harry and the Henderson...
Harry and the what?
I know it's Bigfoot and the Henderson, but apparently they've changed the name now and it's Harry and the Henderson. No, when I was younger, it was Bigfoot and the Henderson, Adam. Anyway, yeah, in the film... Yeah, Adam, come on. In the film, the daughter, the girl, has an orchid around her wrist when she goes to like prom or some dance or that. So yeah, I would know it as
a flower.
And
Johnny
eats it.
Eats it?
Yeah, Bigfoot eats it.
Well, I don't think we can recommend that. I'm not sure they're edible. Don't eat any of these flowers, by the way. Well, it must be a flower because it is a plant, but it's a flowering plant, so therefore must be a flower.
Must be.
Now, I'm opening up a can of... I'm spiralling into a black hole here, so we're going to move on, okay? Susan says she's going to be staying up late in California. Cheryl, Cheryl is our resident delivery driver, and it's Cheryl that has us on... she has a phone in the pocket with us on, she has her earbuds in, and she's listening to us the whole time whilst delivering parcels on her rounds. And sometimes when we do a funny, I know it's rare, Craig, she ends up just laughing in the face of the people that she's delivering parcels to. And Cheryl's a bit concerned because she's worried that she's not going to have enough battery on her phone to do 7 hours while she's out doing her delivery rounds. Someone needs to get Cheryl a power bank, Craig.
Absolutely, yeah, you need to get a power bank, and obviously a great thing nowadays with having the wireless earbuds, you'll be able to plug in your power pack, that is for sure. But yeah, that's a good one. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, no.
So yeah, Cheryl, our resident delivery driver, she's lovely from Niagara, I believe. Lindsay says, Craig,
yes.
For making and extending the flowers into a tall vase, what would you recommend?
What you could then do is you could start to incorporate, I'll explain this in a wee bit more detail just shortly, but at that point where I fed through the stamens with the wire, if you do actually get any of the floristry, I can't remember the exact name of it, the green stemmed wire that you could use in floristry, you could actually get that and use that, attach that to the top. That's going to then go nicely within your vase, but then you can start to decorate it with some of your foliage or that from your foam. So you could be doing it that way as well. Think how big or how far you can take it, depending on whether it's cards, whether it's obviously anything when it comes to home decor or that. But yeah, you can just do it that way.
Oh, awesome. Loads of love as well for Bianca's beautiful demonstrations in her projects. Kay saying a beautiful bouquet. Beth says, wow, gorgeous, Bianca. Shannon says, what a great idea to make those cute little bouquets, especially if you're allergic to flowers. Lynn, Kay, Sarah, Loretta, all saying as well how awesome Bianca's finished projects were. So thanks to Bianca for those. We will be dropping in with Bianca again a little bit later in the show. I want to take you back through the winter collection that we've got available for you on the show today, because this is proving very busy. This is our most recent launch when it comes to our flower forming here at Crafters TV as well. So it's great that we've got this on with a great saving as well, because you've got a fantastic saving there. However, if you are a platinum member, the saving is $23.13 or $28.05. So really great value. And in here, you're going to get the poinsettia. You're going to get the vines that you can see just here. No, sorry, the ivy that you can see just here. You're also going to get as well this one, which is your holly, which is awesome. This one here, this one is your falling leaves. How have I managed to put them back all upside down? It's beyond me. This one here is your Christmas rose, which is absolutely gorgeous. Think about doing that in a whole host of different colours. You're going to get the pine cone here as well, which is beautiful. And finally, last but by no means least, you've also got that foliage there as well. All of them, £41 or $52. Even more savings to be made if you are in the, if you are a member of our club, which of course all of you are. Now, there's some great foam collections. Maybe you've got all these dies already, you just want to stock up on some of the consumables, then we've got you covered there as well. This is a lovely one, because in here, what you're going to get is you're going to get the floral bouquet, the natural white, and the foliage greens as well in there, which is beautiful. More foam for you as well, $13.47 or $22.38 for that. The Garden of Love, this is an absolute steal because you've got a 60% saving on this one. There are more winter, this is a part of our winter sale, this item. There's even more winter sale items available over on the website. What I would say is winter sale culminates tomorrow with a last chance craft vault with myself and Debbie Fisher, so make sure you join us for that for tomorrow at 1 p.m. UK time. The Garden of Love though, this $3.99 or $5.19. Stock up on that. The great thing is, yes, it's going to work beautifully with the Garden of Love collection, but they are awesome, usable, versatile colours. You've also got white in there, and the white is fantastic because you can add colour to it, which is brilliant. Craig, on that note, actually, when adding colour to things like our foam, what can we use to add colour onto those?
So what we could do is, originally on this show we were meant to have some of the water reactive inks, but you guys sold them out beforehand with Joe and Fiona earlier on. But if you've got them, you can be using them at home. But you could be using your alcohol markers in that as well. So if you've got your classics, if you've got your tri-blends, for something, just something as simple as, let's show you this one here. So this is one of, you can see here, just having a look in that one there, we've got, see how we've just gone in just with little points of our pens there. So it could be your alcohol markers, but it could be any of your colour mediums that you've got at home. Just add that little bit of colour. It will intensify slightly as it heats up and then as it shrinks and then it starts to shape. But you can be doing that as well, adding colour on. Just have a bit of fun, have a bit of a play and see how it's going to look.
Absolutely. Loads of you were talking as well. Lynn says she remembers Harry and the Hendersons, Craig. Gwen says, growing up in Hawaii, my mum had an orchid farm. She used to make orchid leis for the airport florist. Now, there's a story. See, it's going to be all right for Gwen because you're going to be Gwen's evening TV, Craig, when you're doing the morning. So I think I'm right in saying, is it 8 hours behind on the West Coast, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there are another 2 or 3 hours behind that in Hawaii. So actually, you're going to be like 10 p.m. viewing for Gwen when you do your wake up morning show. So there you are.
Oh, well,
Tammy says, Google says that I am correct. Orchids are a flowering plant. Brilliant. Ramona says they are edible as well, orchids, as are pansies. That's why you see them used so much as decorations on wedding cakes as well. Right. I've just had a message from the boss. I know, and it's a bit worrying sometimes when you're, because I've actually on the iPad. I know, Craig. On the iPad, what I'm actually looking at is I'm looking at my personal WhatsApp account, right? And I've had a personal WhatsApp from the boss She's saved in my phone as the dragon, by the way. So it's come up, one message from the dragon.
Can you just get on with what she's saying if we're in trouble?
We're not in trouble, Craig. You're not in trouble. But Sarah's watching and she says she just wants us all to know how much of an awesome job she thinks Bianca's doing, and thinks that all of those gorgeous finished makes that Bianca has done are absolutely top class. She goes on to say, Joe, don't forget, I'm always watching. The all-seeing eye there of the boss. But yes, saying how awesome she thinks Bianca's makes are. So it's always lovely to know Sarah
so smart,
is with us.
they?
And they are absolutely gorgeous. Right, Craig, what do you want to share with us next?
So what I'm going to say, and it just says, well, when it comes to Bianca and the rest of the team, that's why we have got one of the best design team when it comes throughout the full range at Crafter's Companion and Spectrum Noir. So what we're going to do now is, just shortly, we're going to move on to doing more shape when it comes to the ball tools, when it comes to the distress tool. We're going to have a look at that winter set first. We're going to use the Rose Garden foam. Because you've got some red foam within the Rose Garden selection, you'll be able to create some poinsettias. So I've showed you how to create a very simple clover when it comes to kind of like all occasions. Show you how to create a very simple poinsettia, and then for the rest of the show, what we'll do is we'll start to do all the shaping and all these different looks and techniques that you can get, and we'll do a bit of colouring as well. So what I've already just got these lined up already. So we've got 4 layers when it comes to the actual red. So just show you as well, I know Joe went over it, you'll be able to see them on the website as well. This is just the Rose Garden foam. So what I'm going to do straight away is I've just folded them over and over, so we've got 4 layers of our poinsettia. So I'm just going to close that one over. Once again, whether it is your Gemini Junior, whether it's your large Gemini, it's going to go through no problem at all. It doesn't just have to be the Gemini, it could be any die cutting machine, and these are even going to go through your Gemini Mini or your Gemini Go. So it really can be a small hobby that you've got. You don't have to have a lot. If you've not tried anything like flower forming before with foam, but you do have flower. Gosh, it's all the F's. It is all the F's. If you. What I would say as well, I'm just going to backtrack slightly as well, because I've actually folded, here we go again, folded up my foam with the flowers. Do be careful as well, and you know, try not waste as much, because as you fold this out, you're going to get parts where it meets within the middle, and you can still get some of your smaller dies. You know, you're having a look in areas like that. Some of your other dies you'll actually still be able to cut into. But what I was just a way to say is, if you do have flowers that are paper crafted dies, but you've never done flower forming before, get one of the packs with the foam in them, just get that one. And then straight away you'll be able to do your actual foam, your flowers at home by using your normal dies, but mix and match, use these dies with papers and vice versa. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to take these one, prising them apart, because of the pressure, whether it is our electronic die cut machine or whether it is our actual manual, because you've got that pressure, they do just stick together. So we're just separating them.
I know most people, of course, do have a Gemini, Craig, whatever form that takes, whether it is the big one, the Junior, the Mini, the MIDI. But these dies and this foam, I'm guessing it will work with most other die cutting machines as well. So if you had a different brand that cuts thin metal dies, we're still going to be okay to use these dies and this foam through those other machines.
Absolutely. This is still a wafer thin die, what we would class as a wafer thin die. So it's no different to the size or the depth of any of our paper crafting dies. It's just that it's got more of a centerpiece. So if I just refer back to what I was saying in that last one, so let's take this poinsettia. You've got more of a center part here. This enables you to feed through either your poke tool or your stamens without the petals of whatever flower you're using splitting, because you've got more of an area in there. So that is really the only difference, but you can absolutely use any of your other ones at home.
Absolutely,
so let's just prize them away. And then what I'm going to do just quickly as well, you can still do all your leaves, although within one of the sets we're getting all the foliage, the same as this winter set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the greens and just taking that large poinsettia, and I'm just going to cut that one. So I'm just going to run this one through. So a combination of doing multiple layers, because you can do that with the foam, as well as if you are a bit quicker with the MIDI than you are with the Gemini, then you can really start to bang out lots of different layers and lots of different combinations.
Awesome. On another note, Craig, could you use non-flower forming dies to cut flower forming foam. Not that you'd want to shape them or heat them, but maybe you just want to give yourself a bit of a different texture. I'm just thinking about maybe some of our fancy nested dies might look lovely cut in foam and matted and layered up, just to give it a different look or feel or effect on some of your cards.
You can do, yeah. If you want to shape them with your iron or your heat tool, you can do, no problem at all. You're just cutting that foam and then you're able to still shape them. So if you don't want to add heat, you don't have to, but you absolutely can. The foam is the one, that is the medium that's going to do the shape because it's heat activated. Cut it whatever way you want, cut strips, run it along your actual craft iron and it's going to shape. So yeah, you can do, that's fine.
Awesome.
So what I'm going to do with this one now, when it comes to the poinsettias, I'm going to do it in a different way. If you do want to use your tweezers, you can do. But all that I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to pop each part of the poinsettia on at a time. And as it melts, I'm just going to run that along. And we're just getting that little bit of shape when it comes to the poinsettia. So you can keep doing that again. So even if you just want to use either your pokey tool or your tweezers just to add extra shape and just protect your fingers, you can do. Keeping in mind, I am using a craft iron. It could be a travel iron or even a home iron. So once again, I'm just going to pop each end of the petal on and I'm just rolling it away. If you do want to go full on onto your craft iron, you absolutely can. But I like just doing that this way when it comes to your poinsettia. So straight away, even just that slight bit of difference by adding a little bit of heat, then you can do. But then let's show you what it will look like if I do go direct on with the full poinsettia. So I'm just going to pop that one on, holding it on. You can see how it shapes up. And then I'm going to go in with my second largest ball tool and we're going to add shape. So something like a poinsettia, you could go very traditional in the look and the style, or you can really go all out. You can add different depth, dimension to it, because keeping in mind what we're going to do is we're still going to add some stamens to come through the middle. So what I'm just going to do, Joe, is I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to do a few more like I just done there a moment ago when it comes to the iron. Awesome. And then I'll do a few more just by running the petal over the side, and then we'll start to create it.
Absolutely brilliant. Sarah says, I have a feeling with the new Crafters TV times, I will not sleep at all the night. All the night for me will be CTV non-stop. Because yes, I guess then for Sarah is 11 hours in front of us. So the first show, the first morning show is 8 p.m. For Sarah, but that means the last show ends now for Sarah at 7 a.m. So it's quite a long day. Curin saying, good morning everyone, just tuning in for the flower foaming fun. Really enjoying the show. Sheila wants to know, what's the difference between flower forming dies and regular dies, Craig?
So there's no big difference as such. The only kind of a visual difference is that centre part of the die that just allows you to actually feed through your stamens or even your pokey tool into the middle. But, you know, as a material, as to what it's going to cut when it comes to product-wise, there's no difference whatsoever.
Awesome, always good to know. Don't forget as well, if you want to be featured on the Craft House, you want to join us at any point, you want to be our crafty special guest, we would love to have you. You can email us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. In the subject line, just pop Craft House, and one of our lovely team, or Johnny, will get back in touch with you at some point in the future. Let us know what your favourite craft is, sort of things that you like, what you're into, and we'll do our best to get back in touch with you, which is fantastic. Kay says, I've used my flat iron hair for the flowers, and that works great. I wonder if Kay means like straightening tongs. Okay. What about, do you use your straightening tongs for your flower forming foam, Craig?
Yeah, once I've done my hair in the morning, I'll then go along and then I'll use it for the flower forming foam.
But on a serious note, though, do you think you could use straightening tongs for your flower forming foam?
What I would say is I don't know. We've not tried it. It's not a medium that we would suggest. I would say please be careful if you're going to use that. You know, it's not something we do. We will use an actual heating device that is going to give you that best result, that we know that's going to be safe, whether it's a craft iron. So obviously, if you are going to do that, please be very careful. What I would say as well, we get some people that say they use the foil press. Please do not use your foil press. The foil press isn't designed for you to be taken away from the heat, back and forwards, on the heat, off the heat, on the heat, off the heat. Your foil press is there to stay at a maximum heat while you're doing your foiling. Once you're finished your foiling, you take it off the heat and let it cool. When you're ready to start foiling again, you pop it back in. Flour forming, as I say, you're going to have it on the heat, then you're going to have the plate out. Then it's going to cool, it's going to heat, out, back and forwards. Then that can actually void any of your, obviously the guarantee, if it's still in guarantee. So please don't use your foil press. Best way is with either a craft iron, a home iron, or your heat tool. We'll show you that just shortly too.
Absolutely, and if you are using your home iron, not the kind of like, not like a steam generator iron, is it? No steam or moisture or anything like that, just the dry heat, yeah, Craig?
Yep, just a dry heat from your home iron. The one we tend to use here, say with Royal Wave and Sar and that's on, you'll see it, it just sits upright, so, just being careful, you've got your tweezers and that, when it comes to the foil press, like many at home, I've kind of got asbestos fingers, I know that I'm fine and I'm comfortable. Any doubt, use your tweezers or any of your finger protectors. You could use your finger protectors from your foil press just to protect yourself. You can do that, or the mats for them. It's just the actual heat, to conduct heat. Don't use that for your flour forming.
If you're using a home iron, Craig, what sort of heat setting? Lower setting, higher setting? What would you think tends to work best?
So when it comes to home iron, when I do use my home iron, I personally like to have it between the medium and the high.
Okay.
I don't have it right up to the high. The higher it is, it's going to really conduct that heat to your foam, and the foam, you're going to see your flours are really going to shape really, really quickly. But of course, if you have it on too low, then what happens? You see the foam just starts to, start to cuddle up slowly. What you want is you kind of want that mediocre. So but trial and error, see what you think, see what's best for you.
Awesome. Let us know how you do yours. What do you choose to do? Don't forget as well, I'd love to see pictures of things that you've been making. Please keep sending them in to us. I know we've got some to share with you already, but I'd love to see I'd love to see even more. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those into. So please do keep sending them into us there. Loads coming up over the next few days as well here at Crafters TV. Shall I give you a little bit of a heads up what the next few days looks like? So obviously tomorrow I'm here, double Debbie Fisher tomorrow, which is awesome. So it's the Craft Vault last chance winter sale items coming up, which is awesome. Then we've also got Second Chance Sunday. Remember also in this show you're going to be voting for your favourite demonstration of Craig's as well, which was going to go onto the catwalk of creativity behind me, which will be fun. And then of course Monday, all of those brand new shows starting. So it means that Wake Up with Craig will be here at 9 AM. So excited for that. And then it will be the Craft Vault with myself and Craig at 11, which is going to be awesome. Then we've got an Edibles Masterclass with Debbie Fisher, which is going to be awesome. I've got Monday Makers. That is with myself and Craig. And also, myself and Craig are going to be here for the final instalment of Craft Vault on Monday. Craig, that is a long day for you, Craig.
Yeah.
You're going all out on Monday.
If you don't like me, you don't like my style, you don't like my accent,
or me,
week, I do apologise for that one, because you've actually got me quite a lot all in next week, simply because of our new schedule. What we're doing is I'm just jumping in and I'm just filling in any of these schedules that need done. But then from next week, a week on Monday onwards, then you're going to get all of us on the field team. We'll be back to rotating as well, with me kickstarting. A couple of questions I've had: am I only doing the 9 AM show and that's it? No, not at all. I will be doing other ones as well, so don't worry about that.
Brilliant. And then obviously Tuesday, which is my last day. I think you're going to be due for a rest from me by Tuesday. Craig will, of course, here in the morning. And then myself and Craig will be here with Craft Vault at 11. I've got the Softer Side of Life with the lovely Bernie. That's going to be coming up at 1 PM on Tuesday. We've got a brand new launch of the A2 folders and cutters as well. Talking of launches, launch party is going to be with myself and Sarah, and we are launching some buddy bags as well as some 3D folders and stamps for you as well.
I can one-up you on that one.
Oh,
if you want an even earlier preview of that one, then tune in to my show and we'll give you.
Do you know what then? If you're going to do a peeky on your show on Tuesday, can I come and do the peeky of the peeky on your peeky show for my show later?
If you're in when we're live, you pop in.
All right then, I'll pop in at about 5 to 10.
I've got. That doesn't surprise me.
Do a peeky, but then also
if you're in, Joe, do that.
No, I will. I'll tell you what. Then Tuesday, I'll come and do sneaky peeky. Then for the Tuesday show, I'll be here about 9:55, ready to do that. I'm joking. Maybe I'll come in about 9:30, and I'll do it then if that's all right. But also then, Don't forget Craft Vault as well, Tuesday with me and Craig. Gosh, Craig, there are so many shows coming up. It's going to be so much fun.
It really, really is. The whole thing as well, if you've not seen Sarah on Facebook or social media or even your actual newsletter, then obviously it's all about, it's to help you. Whether, you're struggling at the moment, you're stuck at home at the moment, needing extra things to do, needing extra company, we're going to be there for you, the whole of us on the team. But there we go. So what I've just done is exactly the same as I've done before. I've just layered them up. I just popped my stamens just through the middle of the poinsettia. I've just taken some of these lighter yellow ones. These are the stamens from the floral bouquet on these ones, but you can still come along and colour your stamens, whether it's your alcohol markers, sparkle pens, anything like that. Then all that I would do, just once again, I will just do it just before we go across to you, Joe. I would just add a bit of hot glue. If you do want to add hot glue in between each layer, you can do. It's up to yourself. You want to add more depth with any of your alcohol markers, you can do, but just something as simple as that. That will then just chop off the back. Once it's dried, that's going to sit neat, tidily onto your card, onto your project, onto your mixed media, whatever it is, but really, really nice. Why not go over the top with a bit of sparkle, spray and sparkle if you've got that as well. Also, if you are doing, maybe a little bit of, a bouquet or that, like Bianca was doing, if you've got a little bit of fragrance, spritz fragrance, give them a little spritz. Not too much,
idea.
Just a little bit. Going to get a nice fragrance coming along from that one.
Absolutely wonderful idea. Tammy would like to know, what is the brand of the tiny iron that you're using, Craig?
So I will tell you, it's not in manufacture anymore. It was from a company called Sticks 2. Very, very, very similar to a travel iron. Very similar. So what I would say is go online, have a look at travel irons, or use your home iron. It's just obviously on a bigger scale.
There's a lot of really quite cool ones that you can get, Craig, for like sewing projects. So companies like Prim, I know they do little small, they're sometimes called a quilting iron as well, so, or a pressing iron. That I'm guessing it's the same sort of thing, Craig.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
It is for something like that.
Sarah Brown is looking forward to seeing Craig's shows, as we all are, Sarah. And Beth says, oh, Joe, we could never be tired of you. 2 big heart emojis. Well, big heart emoji back to you, Beth. Thank you very much. I want to just quickly wrap up these winter flowers that we've got here on the show. They are very busy. Easy to see why when they are on such a fantastic deal. £41 or $52 to get all of these for you. So you've got that one there, which is your poinsettia. You've also got this one just here, which is your ivy that you've got there. The next one you've got here is the holly, which is fantastic. You then have the falling leaves. Falling Leaves, incidentally, was the name of the 2015 Belarusian Eurovision entry. I know, so many of you needed that little bit of Eurovision knowledge out there. I thought I'd give it to you. You can thank me later. This is our Christmas rose that we've got just here. And then Craig, I know how much Craig loves this one. This is that pine cone there, which is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. We've then got this one here as well, which is the foliage. Now, you're going to get all of them. All 7 die collections, giving you 37 different dies, which I think is absolutely fantastic. £41 becomes $32.80 if you're a Club Inspire Platinum member. $52 down to $41.60 if you are a Platinum member. Right, want to move on to the Rose Garden collection that we've got for you. Love this. If you love Rose Garden, then the thing about this is there was a show yesterday, I believe it was a Rose Garden masterclass, wasn't it, with myself and Fiona Clayton. You can go back and watch that. So what this collection is going to give you is that Rose Garden, a signature foam. So you've got the lovely pink in there, got the greens and the reds in there as well, which is awesome, which is brilliant. Do you know you get 15 sheets in this collection as well? Which, considering a lot of our packs are normally 7 sheets, this is 15 sheets. So with Rose Garden, you'll always get a bit extra, which is awesome. The next one that we've got here, this one is your stamens. The foam on its own is worth $9.99. Then you've got your stamens there, and you've also got the die as well. And die from the signature collection was traditional rose, which is absolutely fantastic. All of that should be $23.97 in the UK. It's $17.95. Down from $32.89 in the US to $24.66, which is awesome. Right. The boss herself, we're going to go back to Bianca, because Bianca, I don't know if you heard that, the boss herself has texted me personally to let me know how fabulous she thinks you are and how awesome all of your creations are. Isn't that lovely?
I know, that was so nice to hear from her. Yeah, it was a lovely thing for her to say.
Yeah, she is definitely a fan, is what she tells me. Now, we were just talking about signature collections then. There's a few questions that I always ask people that join us on the Craft House. One of them is about signature collections. If you had to pick your favourite signature collection ever, out of all of them, what one would it be?
I think the Garden of Love.
Really? Yes, it is very, very popular, isn't it? Okay, I will note that information, Garden of Love. I know that you've been busy crafting away over there as well. What have you been up to there, Bianca?
So I made a few more flowers up, and I've made this card.
Oh, gorgeous. Craig, these are beautiful, aren't they?
Absolutely gorgeous. And I just love all the different things, whether it's been a small card, obviously on a larger card there, but then obviously, well, actually, do you know what Johnny's just said? And absolutely, I think actually you should be standing here. You should be standing here showing all these different things that you can do. Absolutely awesome. Whether it is obviously, you know, nice, delicate, but then whether they're more fuller ones like you were showing earlier on, just loving what you're doing, certainly with the colour changes too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Craig.
Gorgeous. Imagine if, Bianca, the demonstration of the show actually gets voted as one of yours. How are we going to get your demo over onto the catwalk of creativity? What we'll have to do is we'll have to write a little, we'll get a picture of you and a little IOU and we'll stick it here if that happens. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
How long have you been using the flower forming foam for? What were the first things that you made when you first had it?
I've made it as soon as it got released from Crafter's Companion, because I have to have everything that they sell. And I've made this last year actually. It was just a giant flower here.
That is amazing.
But I'll show you the back. It's just a freehand. The petals, just cut them out myself.
Wowzers.
And layered them all up.
That is incredible. Craig, isn't that awesome?
Never, ever seen anything like that. That is phenomenal. That just goes to show as well, although you've got the dies, just freehand cut if you want.
Yeah.
Look at that. What a statement. What an absolute
I don't know, Bianca, if I want to put it on my head, on my chest, on my wrist. I don't know where I want it to go first. It's absolutely blooming brilliant. See what I did there? Yeah. But no, it's really, really lovely. It's so lovely to see some of the things that you've been creating. What would you say, because I know like yourself, who was a paper crafter predominantly, what would you say to people who maybe have only paper crafted but have thought about flower forming? Is it an easy leap and transition to make from paper crafting to flower making?
I'd say definitely so, yeah. Because if you're using your paper to manipulate to make the 3D flowers, all you're bringing in really is the heat element to shape the foam, and yeah, just go for it. I'd say, don't think about it.
And I guess the thing is, if you make a mistake, you can just start over, which is the best bit. Just don't tell everyone. What is it with people? I always do it when I cook as well, and also crafters seem to do it. Give someone and point out the mistake immediately. I made this for you, but I'm really sorry, but there's a big mistake. Yeah, just don't do that. And also, I guess, I don't know if I'm right here, Bianca, but I bet a flower is a great way of hiding a mistake as well.
Yes, yeah. Thumbprint of ink or...
What I would say as well, I don't know if Bianca would agree, but if you're forming them, if you're shaping them, if you do actually tear a petal off or you actually rip one, keep using it. You know, obviously flowers, anything like that isn't perfect in nature, you know, so keep a hold of it. The petals, if it comes off, you're able to tuck it in elsewhere. If it's got a little rip in it, just keep going because it looks really, really effective. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. If you've got layers, nobody's going to know. I've done it for many times.
Absolutely. Well, Bianca, it's such a privilege to have you with us on the Craft House. We're going to drop on you again in a little wee while, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Brilliant. Okie doke. I'm just going to run through these deals and then we'll drop back in
Okay.
with Bianca in a little while. I want to share with you what some of you guys are saying about Bianca's projects as well. Teresa's saying, Bianca's so pretty. Beautiful, says Dawn. Beth says, wow, Bianca, absolutely gorgeous. Rose says that would make an awesome fascinator, that huge flower that Bianca had made there. And Tammy's saying, I would never have imagined you could make such a large flower with the foam. That's fabulous, Bianca. Thank you so much for the inspiration. Everyone absolutely loving it. Right, if you did want to make one of those really big flowers like Bianca's made there, then a great way to go about that would be the foam collection that we have for you. This is an awesome foam collection, and what you've got here is an upside down one. What you've got here is the foliage greens, which are these two colours here, which are great for all of those different foliage elements. You've then got the floral bouquet, which is this one here, and then what you've got is 7 sheets of the white as well. Now the white is awesome because you can add colour to it, whether you are using oil pastels or alcohol markers or your aqua markers or sparkle inks even onto there too. All of these different colouring mediums will work onto your foam, so it does make it a really versatile one. You're getting 21 sheets there for $13.47 or $22.38. If you want, knock it out of the park, shut the back door, shut the front door, elbow pump the milkman value though.
Don't forget about the window.
What?
You've not shut the window.
Shut the window, lower the blinds, fire up the smoke machine, put the bins out, rattle the doorknob. $3.99 or $5.19 gets you this, and this is from the Garden of Love. You guys are loving this. It's a 60% saving on this. $3.99 or $5.19 if you want to get your hands on those ones just there. Right, we're going to come back with the spring flowers, so I'll just run you through again exactly what you're getting in the spring flowers. So you're getting 6 die sets. Let me show you these ones just here first. So you're going to get the Peony, which is that one there. You're also getting the Schmetterlings, which are the dainty butterflies. I was going to try and pronounce dainty in German, but I've decided I'll pass because it could end badly. We've also then got the traditional doily and border in here as well. What you're also then going to get is the other 3 dies from the Learn to Flower form collection, which is the lily, the clover, and the foliage and vines as well. So it'd be these 3 dies here and the 3 dies I've just shown you. To get 6 die sets, you're looking at well under £10 per die set there, which is fabulous value for money. If you are a club member as well, platinum members, $42.80 or $60 to get hold of those, which is awesome value for money. It really is. So much love still coming in for Bianca's creations. Snooze-a-loo, Sonia says, Bianca, your talent is incredible, very beautiful. Eleanor says, beautiful flowers, Bianca, thank you for all your creations. Shadiah saying, it's the second time now I've seen Bianca's makes. They are so neat and so gorgeous. So loads of love for Bianca's projects on the show. Right, Craig, what would you like to share with us next?
Right, so right at the last minute, I've just changed my mind. I was waiting to show you the lily, but what we're going to do instead, I'm going to show you the peony, and we're going to actually use the distressing tool, and then we'll come back to the lily for the last one. So what I'm going to do is I've already got these ones cut out because it's exactly the same as what I've done at the start of the show, and it's just like your normal die cutting. Keeping in mind, if you are just joining, when it comes to die cutting these ones into the foam, if you're using the large Gemini or the Junior, exactly the same plate configuration, and you can die cut multiple layers. Even then, you can do multiple layers with your midi or your mini. So what I've done is I've taken that foam selection that you'll have seen, and I've just die cut a few. So I've die cut the largest one of the peony and one of the second largest one. So I've got 3 of each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my craft iron, and then I'm going to add some heat. So let's bring in our tool. Let's bring in our poke tool as well. So I'm just going to pop that heat straight on. I'm going to get that to shape. And then once the heat is on, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these over, and then we're going to fold each of the petals in. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to end up with 1 petal. Now, I'm not being precise in the fact of they are layered exactly over the top, because what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to bring in our distressing tool. Now, with this one here, what you've got is you've got your little grid, you've also got your finger toboggan that you can see here. Is it you or Ben that calls it that?
The what?
Finger toboggan. Ben.
The finger toboggan,
he calls
must
it,
be Ben.
So you've got all your lines, you've got all the grids. I don't know if you can quite hear this. Let's go that way. So it's the friction. You've got the grids going one way, you've got the lines going the other opposite direction. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to roll up.
It does really look like a toboggan though, now you've said that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's what I want to call it from now on. There you go, finger toboggan.
So I'm just pressing down, I'm just getting that pinched nicely onto the actual mat, and I'm just going to roll back and forwards. This is going to distress it. Now, the reason this tool come about is when Leanne was coming up with this whole collection, this whole craft, what she was doing is she was distressing them individually by hand, time and time again, and it was actually starting to get sore on her fingers. So this is where she came across this tool. So you can see now what you've got is you've got all these petals, and what's happened as well, that's helped to stretch them ever so slightly. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my larger round tool. So this is 1 of 3, and this is the largest end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit it on the ball tool. You can do it whichever way you find comfortable. I like to have it just facing away from my ball tool. And just lightly, you don't want to do a lot of pressure because then you will tear it. If you do, still use it. It's not an issue. But all that I'm going to do is just with my thumbs, I'm just lightly just going to bring my 2 thumbs into the center, and I'm just pulling. So I'm just gently just pulling that. That's stretching the foam. And then what will happen is if I turn this around in a moment, we're getting this really delicate closed cup petal. And it's obviously, I can't describe it, you know, unless you're actually feeling it, but it's so light. It's incredibly thin. So all that I'm doing is I'm just going to keep going all the way around using the largest end. Now, the largest ball tool end is going to create more of a larger rounded petal. The smallest ball tool, what's going to happen is it's going to create a lot of a smaller closed cup petal. Just says, well, I should have gone that way. But it's not an issue. I'm just flipping it over and carrying on. So I'm just working my way around. So we're going to work our way into this one, and then we're going to start to shape it. If you want to add some colour on, Joe, what I would then tend to do is just add a bit of colour beforehand, and then scrunch it up, then distress it, and then even what happens is the colour starts to blend. The combination of the distressing as well as rolling it within your fingers. We're just slightly pulling. Now this bit here, this did take me a few practices to get the hang of because I was putting too much pressure, and then the more pressure I was putting on pulling, it slits down the middle. So, you know, just a little bit of practice like anything, but before you know it, you'll soon get the hang of it. You know how light that you actually have to press, and then if I pull this one back in, and you'll be able to see if I then bring that one into place here. So if I bring this one in before it was done, I'm going to press that in. You can see how, you know, obviously it shrinks in size slightly, but it's become so delicate, you know, even thinner than paper light. It's so thin when it comes to this one here. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same with my next one, and then we will start to assemble it just in a moment.
Gwen Terry saying how much she loves making foam flowers. Dawn says foam flowers are perfect for Valentine's Day. Will you be making any Valentine's Day cards this year, Craig?
I've no plans to be making any anyway. Oh. No plans.
Oh, let's see how many we get. I was saying earlier in the year, wasn't I, Craig, that, or last year even, I haven't had a Valentine's Day card that wasn't from my mum in about 20 years. So, you know, maybe this year's the year, who knows? Crafty Vera says, Bianca, you're an inspiration to us all. Dita says as well, you can buy hairbands and decorate them with foam flowers. Decorate little girls' tennis shoes, flip-flops, there's a whole host of different things that you can add these to. And that's a really great point, actually, because I think a lot of the times maybe we think about making flowers to add them to our cards, to embellish our card projects, and they are awesome for allowing you to do that. They really do take your cards to the next level. But it is something that you can use across lots of different things, home decor, things that you wear. I know we talked about fascinators and little girls' headbands, brooches, corsages. There's loads of different ways that you can incorporate these, not just into your card making. And I would hasten to guess, Craig, that there's a lot of people out there that craft that only make flowers, that don't really do any other type of crafting. They're not paper crafters at all, but they just choose to make these beautiful arrangements of flowers.
There really is. But then just to expand on what you were saying a moment ago and all the different ways that you can use them, what you can also use them on is because they are so light, if you get a bowl of water and pop some of your floating tea lights in, you can, obviously carefully, you can have these floating into the water as well because they're so light. They're not going to sink at all. So you can make that really nice centerpiece when it comes to your home, your table, wherever you're wanting to actually have that in view. You know, yeah. I don't know if I should repeat that.
I didn't hear that.
Did you not hear that?
No,
I'll say it nicely. You know, you could do, maybe you want to pop them into a bath, you know, for someone.
Floating,
Valentine's.
What, floating flowers?
Floating flowers into the bath, yeah, you could do. If you want to be a bit romantic, you can do. Maybe just have some chocolates, a bit of champagne at the side.
It's an interesting way of keeping your modesty, isn't it? A little foam flower. I wonder what flower
I was watching it in the corner of my eye and I thought, here we go.
I wonder what flower it would be. No, let's move on. Will says, Joe,
you might need Bianca's.
Sorry?
You might need Bianca's, the large one she done.
No, just a little holly one will do, I think. Will says, I'll send you a card, Joe. Thank you, Will. I look forward. The reason I said about not receiving anyone is because what I wanted, Craig, was an avalanche of sympathy Valentine's cards. I hope I get them. Fingers crossed. Susan says, gorgeous makes Bianca. Love the extra large flower, as does Craig, Susan, it would seem. And also, Susan says that I'm enjoying a little malt whiskey fudge from Scotland whilst watching the Scotty Hottie. How about that?
Oh, lovely, lovely. Actually, I did have some of that before, earlier on last year.
Sorry?
I had some of that. Toffee,
Whiskey fudge?
Fudge, yeah.
Ooh,
it's nice.
I do love a bit of fudge. The boss as well, Sarah, makes a pretty mean Bailey's fudge. She hasn't texted me again, thankfully, yet. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? Right. Lynn says, I've still not tried making foam flowers yet. I really must. Lynn, you really must. And I think that learn to flower, let me, I have to read it because it's quite a tongue twister. Learn to flower form was the collection I was going for. I think if you did want to get into flower forming, it's a great collection with the foam, the dyes, the stamens as well. You've got pretty much everything you need to go there, which is absolutely awesome. Sonia says that I've made them for the front of my mini albums and they keep their shape wonderfully. Great point, Sonia. I think because the foam is heat set, the wonderful thing about it is it really does keep its structure, Craig, doesn't it?
It does. It really, really does. So what you can do is if you are making something for Christmas time, you're popping it into a box, into an attic. Although it keeps its shape, what you can do is if you take it out of the box, if maybe something's been sitting on it, then just make sure that once it comes out, just with your hands, just lightly over the top, give it a bit of a rub just to get that foam, the flower just looking nice and fresh again. But it's going to be fine. It's going to stay. Whether it's sitting upright, you know, even with sitting upright on a mantelpiece or, you know, on top of a gift or that, it's still going to look nice. It's going to look really nice, actually.
It really does. This box that's over here, Craig, this one just here, it says on the back of the box, I hadn't realised, it says there's some sweets for you inside.
For me?
Oh gosh, I thought they were for me. So anyway, I opened it up, gone. Must have been for Sarah when she first launched these on HSN. Someone had put sweets on, but there's a message on the backs that says there's some sweets for you on the inside. All gone. We're going to need to get some more sweets, Craig, and pop them in there for the next time. I don't want Ben to have to suffer the same disappointment as myself next time we do this show.
Yeah, no, you want to have something in them. We do like to see when we get some of the samples. It's quite nice to see some of the things that the design team pop in them. You know, it could be little sweets or little gifts. Yeah, they do that.
It's super cute, isn't it? Super, super cute. Such a lovely team here at Crafts Companion, whether it's the office, the TV team, all the design team as well. They really are a lovely bunch. Enchanted Craft Fairy says, beautiful... Oh, beautiful ideas for the cover of the Precious Memories albums. I thought we were going another direction then again. Rebecca says, OMG, the two of yous make me laugh. Crying, laughing face, crying, laughing face. We don't try, do we, Craig? No. We don't set out. We don't, you know, sit down at the start of the show and think, how come we're going to get some funnies in here? Or how are we going to get, you know, covering our modesty with a lotus flower? That's not how it starts out. It just happens, Craig, doesn't it? It's just the direction that we seem to go in. It is Saturday evening here in the UK as well. I mean, I must apologise to poor Bianca having to put up with a pair of us as well. But no, we do like to have fun. That's what crafting's all about, Craig, isn't it?
Exactly, it is. And if there's ever any a time that we need to have a bit of fun, then it's certainly at the moment, that is for sure.
Gosh, it is, isn't it?
The main thing is you love it at home as well, so that's the good thing, and you can have a bit of a laugh too. So that's exactly what we want. So what I'm doing now, Joe, is I've just taken two of these smaller ones that I've also done, and even then, how delicate these ones really are. They're so light compared to what they're like before you actually shape them and heat them to what they really are like afterwards. So if you are adding them to your cards, you're not going to have to worry about them adding any extra cost to the postage. The only thing that would pop extra pennies on your postage is if you're going to pop it into a box, but the actual weight of your card with the flowers on, that's not going to add any postage whatsoever or any weight. But I'm just going to fluff that up just slightly before I pop some stamens through. Then what we've even got on the show as well, we've even got some metallic stamens as well. So what I'm going to do is I've got some just already good to go. Just like the other ones, I've done 6, folded them over to get 12. So
if you want the stamens there along the bottom of your screen, details there for you, so do grab those. We're on a bit of a deal today, which is nice.
There we go.
No, Adam thought I was going to deliver something profound there. I'm sorry, no, that was it. I mean, I can keep talking if you want. Sarah says, but I mean, every time I talk in this show, I've seemed to have got myself in some sort of trouble, so I think maybe the less said the better now, Craig. Don't you agree before the end of the show? Christine loves this show so much. Sarah Brown in Australia says as well, you two make me smile with all the fun you guys have. We do have fun, Sarah, we do.
We do. It's organic fun, as you were saying.
Organic fun,
it just happens. It just happens. We don't pre-plan it. But there we go. So we're conceiving how that one comes. So the difference, once you've actually not only heated the actual foam up, but then you've started to distress it, you get more of a delicate kind of flower. Then what you can do as well is afterwards, some of the petals you could come underneath and add a little bit more. So the more actual hot glue, or the more adhesive you pop underneath, and we would always suggest to use the hot glue, but the thing is as well, is if you pop it onto the heat, the longer you leave it on the heat, the more it curls up. So that's where you're going to get more of a ball. Obviously, if you are going to distress it, then you're starting to actually de-shape that one out. But you can just see how we can really start to just shape that up, bring some more in. So these are also done using the Peony as well. So this is just adding a bit of colour all the way round. But then this is adding a multitude of different layers. So this is all, I think it's, is it 5 or 4 dyes you get in these ones? 3 dyes, sorry. So that's using all 3 layers within these ones. And then this one on here, so this is actually just using the smallest one. And then this is left onto the heat for a good couple of seconds. And then instead of distressing it, what we've just done is just popped it onto our sponge mat and just pressed in with the ball tool. And that creates that closed cut petal. But then just a few more. Let's just show you a few things of what you can make with these ones here. So whether it's nice elongated DL cards that you can actually pop them onto, you don't need to do much at all with these ones. Using the smallest die, so simply by using the smallest die from each set, you can see how you've got that option to create, whether it is, you know, going to be a flower basket onto the front of your window, maybe the garden, but it could be a centerpiece within the middle here. So you don't need to do much at all. The actual flower does all the shouting for you. Top corner, nicely way to decorate them. Again, maybe in the bottom corner, you've got that doily to come with it within the actual pack. What about then your home decor as well? Maybe you just want to do a little gift. Maybe it's for your own house there. Go all out if you want and do so many bright colours, because you have that option. But then here's a bit of, it's like a wreath band you can see on here, creating your own. So whether you want to do, obviously, your own hair bands at home, maybe you want to do your own posies, or that you can do as well. But then just by changing the colour, it can look completely different. You can see this one here with the clover on the dark green as well. So many different ways, so many different shapes, so many different forms. The combination of the heat, the way you actually shape it as well, can make them look completely different.
Absolutely, so many options when it comes to using these, which is brilliant. Anne-Louise says, I love you guys and I'm jealous that you get to have such amazing fun at work. If I lived there, I would be begging to work with all of you. How lovely is that? We do have fun, we have loads of fun. Will says, it looks like a pansy, how beautiful. I think he was talking about that last flower that Craig was creating there. Claire stop it. Claire says, absolutely love watching the two of you. We love you having you with us, Claire. Aisha says, I will try this because Craig makes it look so easy. It is easy, Craig. What would be your top tip, actually, on that note, Craig? For anyone that was going to get this home, was going to give it a go for the first time, what are the sort of top 3 things that you would say that you need to concentrate on most when you do it first time round?
Don't get yourself worked up. You know, it's going to take a moment or two just to get used to, obviously, the combination of the heat and shaping it and that. So just relax and breathe. That is certainly going to be the main thing. But then just focus on a simple flower. Adding that bit of heat, like I done right at the beginning. Adding it to the heat, then using it onto the foam just to get that actual shape to it. That's going to keep it really, really simple. It's going to look really nice, but it's going to build your confidence more importantly. And then really the main thing is, and I know it's a cliche thing to say, but it's just have fun. Don't be scared to try other things. Don't be scared to maybe change the colours. Don't be scared to make them really small or make them extravagant or change the way that they look by how you're distressing them or how you're shaping them. There's no right or wrong way. Yes, they're called specific names, whether it's the lily or whether it's the peony or the clover, but you can make them look completely different if you want. So the main thing is just sit down and relax, because that's what it is. It is a fun thing to do and it looks really nice by the end of it.
Awesome. Aisha says as well, Craig, before the end of the show, would you show us how to colour up some of the petals, add a bit of colour to some of them? Would you mind doing that?
Exactly what I'm going to do in a moment with the lily.
Brilliant. Awesome. Lynn says, we love you both the way you are. You make us smile and laugh, and it's good to have fun. It's always good to have fun, especially when it's at someone else's expense, Lynn. That's what I always say. No, I'm joking. It's always good to laugh. Curien saying, appreciate you both, all of the team, so much during these crazy times. Great, crafty company of friends. And Debbie saying, thank you for this class. You put a smile on my face. I think the great thing is, what I love is that you guys, you know, that watch our shows, I love it when have you seen over the last sort of weeks, Craig, people have been meeting up, driving like 2 hours in the States to meet up with each other and have a cup of coffee and a crafty natter. And there's so many friendships that you see forming through Crafters TV, which is fun. When we are all allowed to meet up, can you imagine if we all get together? Fingers crossed I'm going to be in the States in May. I mean, it's going to take a good tailwind, isn't it? But if it happens, maybe I'll get to meet a few people. That would be absolutely lovely. And when we're finally allowed to do Craftiganza again, Craig, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
Could you imagine that first Craftiganza when we're allowed to do that again? Can you imagine? Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be loads and loads of fun. Right, I want to just quickly take you back through, talking about flower forming for the first time, the Learn to Flower Form collection that we've got for you. You've got loads in this one, which is awesome. So you're going to get 2 packs of our flower forming foam. So you've got the foliage green in there, and you've also got the beautiful, the floral bouquet. You've got the stamens, which are all the way down here, and then you've got your dies in here. So you've got the clover, you've got that awesome lily, and you've got the clover, you've got that awesome lily, and you've got the foliage and vines in there. How long have I been doing this? I think it's 11 years now, and I still go the wrong way up and down. It still happens, honestly, it does. It's a good job I don't have to hold things up to the overhead. You try and see me do that. It just doesn't happen. It's an absolute struggle. I haven't got one for that precise reason. I have got one. Oh no. I didn't realise. Loads of you still chatting away as well. Sheila saying, I guess I'm going to have to give this a try. Flower forming will be my new craft for this year. Awesome. Jeffrey saying as well, have been highly educational demos, and they are all very much appreciated. Jeffrey, you are more than welcome. Right, we're going to cross back over to Bianca one last time. Who is beavering away, I can see on the bottom of the screen just there. Are you still crafting away with us over there, Bianca?
Yeah, I've just actually made a peony along with Craig when he was making his.
Oh, awesome.
Into a buttonhole.
That is gorgeous. And have you got some foliage on there as well?
Yeah, so I cut out some foam with the foliage and vines set. I'll just take the pin out so it can actually be a buttonhole.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's stunning.
What a lovely idea, Craig, for a buttonhole. You know, because normally buttonholes at weddings, they're beautiful, aren't they? But then you try and dry them. I've tried to dry them before and had no success. But if you made them out of foam, people could keep them forever as a keepsake. How lovely.
Yeah, they're almost like a wedding favour at the same time, aren't they?
Yeah. Really, really gorgeous. Love that idea, Bianca. So other than flower forming, what are you sort of crafting at the moment? I know you're on the design team, so you might not be able to let us know. I don't know. But if you can talk about... no, definitely not. Have you got any personal crafting on the go at the moment that you're working on, that you're particularly enjoying?
Just my colouring in again at the moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
Once I've finished doing all the stuff for the design team, it's nice just to stamp something out and then get the pens out and have a little colouring session. Yeah,
absolutely. And obviously in the UK we're all on lockdown, so we're all finding a little bit of extra time to craft, unless there's homeschooling. Do you have little ones, Bianca? Is there homeschooling going on in your house?
Yeah, I've got a 13-year-old, so it's just a case of getting him online to do the work.
Okay, perfect.
Pull a fast one.
I feel like in the UK, homeschooling and talking about homeschooling has taken over from talking about the weather. Normally we talk about the weather. Now all we can talk about in the UK is homeschooling. Well, I'm glad they're a bit more grown up and they're getting on with it, which is absolutely awesome. Well, Bianca, I must say it was an absolute pleasure to have you back on the show. Again, it's so lovely. So will you do us a favour? Will you come back on again at some point in the future?
Of course I will, yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I look forward to that, as I know Craig does as well, won't you, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, to yourself, Bianca, as well as obviously our full team, you know, thank you so much for everything that you do, because your samples and what you do are absolutely gorgeous. It's always one of those, see, when your box comes in, your parcel comes in, it's like a big fight as to who gets to look in first. But yeah, they are stunning, so thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Very much.
Honestly, Bianca, sometimes, you know, I come in and Debbie Robinson and Craig Laird and Fiona Clayton, they're rolling around in the reception, fighting over who gets what samples to go to what, whether they're coming here or going to Create and Craft. You should see it, honestly. It's like, it's quite a sight to behold. But anyway, massive thank you, Bianca. A pleasure to have you on as always, and I really hope we get to speak to you again soon. Enjoy your Saturday night. Staying in on a Saturday night, no doubt. I'll see you later, Bianca.
Bye,
so
guys.
lovely to speak to Bianca, as always. Loads of you loving Bianca as well. Janet says, Bianca's so talented. Great ideas from Bianca. Aisha saying, Bianca is so talented as well. Loads of love for this masterclass, which is absolutely fantastic. Loads of deals on the show as well. I know, let me show you and take you back through again, actually, the extra foam that we have. So we've got a lovely collection of foam. With this collection, what you'll get is, you'll get the white, and as I was saying earlier, the great thing about the white is, you're able to add colour to it. So I know that's one of Craig's upcoming demos, is adding colour to the white. So that's perfect for that one. 7 sheets of that. 7 sheets of the foliage green, and also 7 sheets of the floral bouquet, which is a really lovely mix of colours there on that floral bouquet. 13.47 or 22.38 if you want to get your hands on that one. Very busy, I'm hearing, on the foam at the moment. I think the foam, and I know you agree with me on this, Craig, is what really sets it apart, isn't it? That heat-activated foam, the quality of the foam, the fact that it is so robust and so durable means that when you come to work with it, you're going to get something really, really gorgeous as an end product.
Absolutely, yeah. Because the thing is as well, that any of the other foams out there as well that are, they say that heat activated, a lot of them, what you have to do is activate them from the heat that's coming from your fingers, the way you manipulate them, and you can get really lovely looking projects out of them. But then the great thing with these ones is because you're getting that fast acting heat straight to the foam, which that is a good thing in the fact of you can get more shape to the flower. You get more shape instantly, but then you can just come along and you can just refine that even more just by popping your fingers around the ball tool and that and adding that shape. So there is different ways in which you can do it. But I thought what we're going to do is let's take that white foam that Joe was just showing you a moment ago, and let's die cut some of the lily, and we'll add some colour into the middle. So let's fold this right over. Let's see how many I can get. So I just want to show you how many it actually die cuts at once. Let's take an A4 sheet, because then maybe we'll be able to do it this way. So I'm just wanting to space them just so that we can get them on, and then let's fold that one over. So potentially Let's fold that. So there's 1, 2, 3, so that's 4. So let's fold that over again. So that's going to be 8. So let's pop that one on. So we're going to pop that one on there, and then we can pop that one on into there. So this I might just, I think with it being the MIDI, I may be asking a bit too much for this one here, but absolutely we are on that one. So when it comes to your big layers like that, do it with your Gemini, either your large Gemini or of course your Junior. That will of course do all these layers. Because really, I'm kind of not thinking straight, am I, in the fact of this is our MIDI, so this is our folder. But there we go, we've got 4 layers now, and that's going through. Let's move my hot glue gun out of the way. So let's pop that one all the way through. And then as this one comes out, you can see how we've got our layers there. So even then, they've come out just fine, just perfectly. They've just die cut. So let's peel them away. There's that, and then we've got one here. So I'm going to add a bit of colour to this one here. I'm going to use some of our water reactive, and I'm going to use our pink tulip for this one. Let's move that one out the way for the second as well.
Don't forget as well that we need you to vote on Craig's favourite demo of the entire show. So in a few minutes, Craig, will you give us a bit of a recap, and then we'll get a vote going after this demonstration, if that's all right?
Absolutely.
We also need to wish someone a big happy birthday. I'm reliably informed that it is Teresa D'Amico's birthday today. She doesn't tell me how old. She hasn't actually told me it's her birthday. Someone else has told me it's her birthday. But a very happy birthday, Teresa. Wherever you are, however you're celebrating, I hope you are doing something lovely that involves something fizzy and something delicious. So yes, very happy birthday, Teresa.
Happy birthday to Teresa. I'm adding colour into the middle here. So I'm just using the edges of my actual square blending tool. One of the best ways to do it as well is if you've got our little, our Spectrum Noir, it's like a little sponge, you know, our sponge applicator. We can see how you can add a lot of detail because it's like an egg shape. It's got a little point in, so you can get right in to these fine little bits. But you can do it with your blend-in foam as well if you want. So I'm just going in. What I would tend to do as well, I'm holding into the middle just to secure it. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of just pull away from me. You're starting to add the colour into the middle. So pulling it away like that, and then what we'll do, just in a minute, let me just grab one here. Let's just take a tri-blend, and we'll take the lavender blend, and then all that I'm doing is, like you would tend to see in a lily, let's just do a few little dots, and then that is all we'll do in that one.
The great thing about faux or flower forming lilies compared to actual real lilies, Craig, is those little black dots on the lilies. I love lilies, but they get everywhere, don't they? I forget what they're actually called. It is the, you know the bit I mean though? I always try and cut them out. Then they always end up going up my trousers, and they seem to get absolutely everywhere. They now as well, in the flat, I've got white window ledges, so then they drop off onto the window ledge, and then the window ledge goes whatever colour the lilies were. So I've actually had to stop buying them because I love them, but they just make such a blooming mess everywhere.
They do. They're the flowers that when I was younger, whenever my mum got them, they were always the one, don't run near the window, you know, where the vase is with them. You know, stay away from there. If you get any, it's not pollen, but it's...
Is it pollen?
Is it pollen?
That might be what it's called. I'm not sure.
The lilies as well. But you know, stay away. It's going to stain. It's going to stain your jumper. It's going to stain the carpet. It's going to stain this, that, and the next thing. So yeah, I remember them very well.
You know all the amazing technological advancements that we've come up with as a species, Craig? Mm-hmm. You think maybe we would have come up with the ability to grow lilies without that bit on the inside now, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? I think, you know, you think someone maybe now would have come out with like a sort of a genetically modified lily that didn't have the bits that go all over the floor and all up the walls? Just a thought, Craig, just a thought. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, we've put a man on the moon, but we can't take that bit out of the inside of a lily. I mean, it begs the question, doesn't it? Anyway, Craig, talking about fabulous things. Craig's gone, we've lost him. Sally Bond has dropped me a message, Craig, and she says, Joe, could you please thank Craig for his fantastic live last night? Despite lockdown, I felt as though I'd gone out and met up with a friend, much needed and very refreshing. How lovely is that?
Oh, that's lovely. That's really, really lovely. That's exactly why I'm doing it. You know, just like you at home, you know, I know obviously I am able to come in here, and obviously we're limited in here following obviously the government guidelines, but I know I am surrounded by some of my friends and, well, work colleagues. But at least, you know, when I get
be
home...
like, and Joe then for a moment.
No, Joe being a really good friend too. But yeah, once I go home as well, you know, I'm exactly the same. It can be tough at night time being on the own if there's no one around you, certainly if you're not seeing your friends or that. And because that's what it's like, and I know it's a cliche thing to say, but you know, because you follow us and we see on social media, it's just nice to come together at night time and do a live, and that's why I like to do them. It's more one-on-one with all of us, have a chat, and yeah, we were talking about just after the watershed. You know, many people here in the UK will know what that means, but yeah, we're talking about things that can... We weren't actually saying things what can and can't be things. We were just talking about the watershed.
Just you teaching all of our American viewers British swear words is what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like was happening on the live last night. No, but I know, Craig, so many of our viewers really do appreciate all of the lives that you do. PPE Pam's been in touch. She says, Craig, I haven't tried the lily and the calla lily stems from the lily collection. Would I use quick dry to stamp onto the foam when using those? Did you get that? Do you want me to do it again?
Say that again, sorry,
yeah, of
Joe.
course. Craig, I haven't tried the lily and calla lily stems from the lily collection yet. Would I use quick dry to stamp onto the foam when using them?
Stamp.
I think she means when colouring the foam, is what I'm presuming she means.
Yeah.
If she's colouring the lily stem from the lily collection, would she do it with a quick dry ink pad? I think that's what she means.
Water reactive. Go with water reactive.
Okay,
yeah.
brilliant.
Water
There
reactive.
you go. I hope that helps, Pam. Do let me know. Patricia says, Craig, what can be done to remedy a torn petal?
So, well, that's exactly what I've just done a moment ago. I'm not sure if you've seen that. I held it up to the camera so that you could see that I actually tore this petal just as I was starting to shape it. So what I would do is, let's just finish this one here. So what I'm doing is I've popped it onto the heat just to activate the lily, the foam, and I'm just rocking, well, I'm saying I'm rocking it side to side. I've popped my foam over the largest ball tool, and once again, using my thumbs, I'm just going from kind of from the middle, but from base to tip, making it longer when it comes to the lily. You can, if you want to, you can then go and make it a bit wider if you want by pulling the edges, so you can start to alternate the shape if you want.
Correction, Craig, sorry, the calla lily, I've been, one of our social media superstars has let me know that the calla lily comes with stamps to stamp onto the petal.
Right, okay.
So that's what Pam was talking about. What ink would you use in order to stamp that petal detail onto the foam?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't stamp detail onto it. So if you get a flower that's got a stamp and die, I wouldn't stamp the detail onto it.
Okay.
That's just me personally. I would simply use the dies to die cut the flowers and then to shape them that way. You know, if you want to, you can try and add some colour onto it, but you think is obviously when it's actually forming, when you're shaping it, you're going to smudge it. Now, when you add colour, like we've done in the centre, by smudging it, really, we're blending it with our fingers, so that works really quite well. See how well that looks and how it comes together? If you're trying to stamp a specific design and you're pulling that colour out, it's not necessarily going to look very, very appealing all the time. Give it a shot. But for me personally, probably many of us on the team, although I can't exactly speak for them, but probably what you would find, we wouldn't use the detail stamp, just the die on its own.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Craig. I hope that helps. Pam, do let me know. Cheryl says, I definitely love your live, Craig. I don't always catch them live, but I do watch them back at any point. That's a great point. Like you can watch any of these shows back at any point, Craig. We can go back onto your Facebook page, can't we, and go back through all the lives that you've ever done.
Absolutely, you can do it as well. And then also, which I realised just recently, all Facebooks have them, I didn't realise this, but you've actually got a video tab as well. So if you, or if you go into the video, then any video, so you're not going to scroll through photos, just purely videos, lives that I've done, go into that section there, so it's a bit easier to go with. And then just say as well, it's I try to give about 24 hours notice. Next week, I usually do them at 7 p.m. here in the UK. Obviously, Craft Vault's going to be starting at 7 p.m. So going forward, any Facebook Lives I do are going to be round about 8 p.m. here in the UK, just after 8, so just to let you know that. So now that I've got 2 of my lilies anyway, I would have done 3. One of them, obviously, I snapped the petal. We're still going to use it. So I'm just going to pop my pokey tool through the middle. So we're just popping it into the middle there, and same with that one here. So we're starting to get that forming nicely. I'm going to pop stamens. I'm going back to the floral bouquet ones for this one, and I've already popped them around the metal. And I'm just going to pop this one all the way through. So
I'm obsessed now. I can't concentrate with the fact that I've realised that I've got an overhead camera over here now. I mean, I don't know what I would ever use it for. I don't know. I just want to sort of get in there and like, oh, hello there. I'm just obsessed with the idea that now I've got this overhead camera. Look, there's stuff I can like put stuff here and do a Sarah zoom. Whoop, look, I love it. It's a brand new toy for me to play with.
It's good, isn't it?
I love it.
It's funny. I know. I could see when I was talking to you, I could see out the corner of my eye, he was looking at it. He was like, I couldn't work out if he could see it or if he was just having some fun.
No, I'm obsessed. It's my new favourite thing. It's my new favourite thing. We're going to have to come up with some ideas for how we can use it now, maybe, Craig.
Yeah, I think so. That'll be good. I'll be watching tomorrow to see how you're going to be using that one. But now that I've layered these 2 here, what I would then do, because I've got that extra one here, so if I bring this back in, so we've got the petal that I've snapped off, what I would do is I would snap the other one off, and then I would then come along and just onto the back there, I would then attach that petal underneath. So we're just starting to fill in the back bits. So let's do this one here. Using our hot glue. The reason we use hot glue is, of course, it is instant. If you're trying to create, you're trying to form, and you're starting to bring together, whether it's a bouquet or flowers, if you're having to wait on either your quick dry or your all-purpose, then obviously you're going to be there for quite some time. So that's why we always say to use your hot glue. But I'm just going in, adding them in, so there is no waste. We're just filling in all the way round, filling it in with those ones that we've snapped off, and then you can just start to just manipulate it that little bit more, just by pulling in. We've added the stamen into the middle, and then you start to get your lily shape. Absolutely
beautiful, Craig. I really, really love it. And do you know the other thing is, of course, we've got all of these die collections for you, Craig, and they are an intended shape, aren't they? They're going to create an intended shape that we've designed to be that type of flower. But I bet actually you could very quickly interpret a lot of these by changing up the colours into other flowers. Maybe you'll look at the lily and think, do you know what? If I place a stamen differently, maybe if I add colour differently, change the background colour, it must be quite fun coming up with new flowers, or maybe even just going completely abstract. Craig, and creating things that are obviously not true to true to nature in any way.
No, that's it. We've given you the names for them, but you can make whatever you want. But just exactly as Joe was saying there, so that's what we've done using the lily. Now, before we brought out the winter selection, we used the lily to make a kind of poinsettia that you can see on there. So this is bang on the money what Joe was saying. Change them, they can look completely different. They could be another flower, or they could be something completely different, and why not make your own flower and make your own name?
Absolutely. There's so many different options for you, which is incredible. Craig, should we do a little bit of recap on the demos that you've done in this show? Is that all right? And then we can get a vote going for the demo of the show. What happens then, Johnny, after we vote? So tomorrow in Second Chance Sunday, I'm guessing we're going to vote for our favourite demo of the entire week. So then they go, and then do we get like a leaderboard or something somewhere, and they go on and it turns into the Hunger Games or something like that. Who knows what's going to happen?
We should use that.
We should.
I know I don't think we can see it on camera.
I bet we can, because I bet the very talented Adam can move your camera around a little bit.
That's
and show
true.
you,
Right enough, we can move them.
I know. Can we see it, Adam? The big brown roll.
Sarah's already signed it.
Yes, pop over there. Sarah's name's on there already.
Absolutely.
How awesome is this that we can just move these?
Smart.
I mean, how awesome is this
isn't
new studio?
I know, it's so smart.
I've forgotten what being in the shed was like, you know. I think if I went over there now, it would be really strange. It'd be going back to the house you grew up in. Just a very strange environment. But no, it is awesome. But yes, I think that's where we need to go. We need to mark up the winners on there. Let's pop them on tomorrow. I mean, not that we're a competitive bunch at all here at Crafters TV. Loads of you are still chatting away. Sally Bond says, Joe, you're so funny. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. I don't know what part of the show that was directed at, but I'll take it all the same. And Eleanor saying she really loves your Craig. Sonia, love your Lily as well, Craig. But you've made loads in this hour, haven't you?
Well, I made 4. So, you know, I'd like to think we made some good ones here just to show you. So whether it is a very simple concept using the clover, of course you could follow this concept but then use some of the other flower dyes that you've got here. So just shaping it with a bit of heat there. But then what we've done is we used the actual poinsettia here. We added more shape to it and used the ball tools within these ones here to give that bit more depth to it. Then we brought in our peony with this one here, where in this one again we used the heat with all of them, but then we brought in the ball tools, but also we used our little distressing tool as well. And then what we've done is we came in, we used the lily. On this one we added a bit of colour, and then what I also done is showed you how you could use any of the petals that may snap off, how you can then pop them back in. Again, a bit of colour using water reactive and a bit of colour just with a few dots of our tri-blend pens. So that gives you an idea how you can start to create these ones, and then of course it could be cards and so many.
Clover, lily, poinsettia and...
Peony.
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 Whew, I thought someone had put your batteries out there for a second. Let us know in the comments which one you would like to see go on to the Catwalk of Creativity. I think that's the name that seems to be sticking, Johnny, you know, the Catwalk of Creativity. I think that is what we like thus far. So let's call it that for now. Thanks for the tip on gluing the broken leaves back on, says Teresa. I was going to throw them away, but I shan't do that now. Early indications show, early polling shows that the peony might be out in the lead at the moment, Craig. We shall see what happens over the next 6 minutes before we choose our winner. I want to come back and recap the products that we've shared with you, because we've got some really... I know we've had a lot of inspiration in this show. We've had a lot of fun in this show. It's been lovely having Bianca with us, sharing her knowledge as well. But we do have some awesome deals if you are already into flower forming or you're looking to get into flower forming. We'll start off with that Learn to Flower Form collection firstly, because in there what you're getting is you're getting 2 collections of foam. You're getting the foliage greens and you're getting the floral bouquet. You're then getting the stamens down here, as well as the vines and foliage, the lily and the clover in there. So 3 of the core dyes. You're getting the foam, you're getting the stamens as well. It's all in there to get you started. £35 or $54. Platinum members, £28 or $43.20 is your price, which is awesome. Now, maybe you've already got lots of foam, you've got stamens, but you think, do you know what, new dyes is what I would like. I've got another collection for you. You still get the 3 that you saw already. What you're going to get then is the peony. You're going to get those dainty butterflies, and also the doily and border, which is great for using as a grounding element or as the base of your floral projects. So you get these 3, and you'll also get the 3 dyes that came included as part of the Learn to Flower Form collection as well. So the clover, the lily, and the foliage and vines too. That one, $53.50 or $75, becomes $42.80 or $60 as a platinum member. Now what we've also got is the winter flowers. They are all the wrong way around. How do I manage to put them back the wrong way around every single time? It's got to be an art, isn't it? This is our winter flower collection that we've got. These are 7 really popular dyes. When we did this as a launch, I think it was back, was it maybe November time? I think we might have launched these. It was the biggest flower forming launch ever, bigger than when we actually launched our flower forming foam range. So you guys absolutely love this, really responded to it, and it continues to be really busy now. And I don't think it would have been at this price when we launched it either. Combined price here is $55.93 or $69.65. I think it was closer, much closer to, it was 50 or 50 something pounds. So it's a great deal. You've got the this one here, which is the ivy. You've also got the holly. This one here is the autumn leaves that you're going to receive, as well as the rose. You've also got the pine cone in there. And last but by no means least, you've got the foliage in there too, which is awesome. £41, $52 if you want to get your hands on that little collection there. Of course, club members, club members 30 to 80. Did you see me look up then? Because I actually thought 30 to 80 of club members, that's got to be wrong. It isn't. 30 to 80 or 4160 of club members to get 7 brand new die collections, giving you 37 elements. Do you need extra foam? I always think it's a great idea to go for extra foam, even if you were buying the Learn to Foam kit, because it's going to be the one thing that you're going to use time and time again. And I think if there's anything that's going to stop you or hold you back from creating these lovely foam flowers, it's running out of foam. So for $13.47, why not go for these 3 collections? Add those into your basket. $13.47 in the UK, $22.38 in the US, saving you 25%, which is absolutely awesome. Do you want some stonking great value from our winter sale? Then this is it. The Garden of Love flower forming foam, $3.99 or $5.19, should be $9.99 or $12.99. You can use your club discount on there as well. So you get that for what? £3.20 as a platinum member in the UK, which is awesome value. This is the last chance for our winter sale. The winter sale ends tomorrow, I believe, and it's a last chance craft vault with myself and Debbie Fisher at 1 o'clock here tomorrow as well. So make sure you come and join me for that. Lots of you chatting away. Peony has taken the lead, I'm hearing on Facebook. Joe loves the peony. Janet loves the peony. Teresa loves the peony. Great show, says Dieter. Peony is the winner, Craig, on both YouTube and Facebook. So that is the winner of the demo of the show, which is fantastic. Show us your peony, Craig.
Here we go. So there's the peony. What I just done there, as you were speaking, Joe, I just die cut the actual
oh, you've upped the ante here.
Into the middle, just pop it into the middle, just so it's not just sitting on its own over there behind you. So I'll stick that one on as well. But yeah,
Craig's going to take it. No, I know what Craig's going to do. He's going to take it home, and that peony will become a whole reef of peonies tomorrow. He's going to go all out.
It's going to look like Bianca's.
All out for the win. I have no doubt whatsoever. Crafty AJ saying these shows are so much fun. Craig, the next time we see you is going to be for your brand new show. All of us here, including Johnny, keep getting the title wrong. So why don't you tell us exactly what it's called?
I keep getting the title wrong. It's not Wake Up with Craig, it's Wake Up Call with Craig. Wake Up Call with Craig on Monday, 9 a.m. here in the UK. Obviously, I know you guys will get it throughout the morning, but 9 a.m. in the morning, the very first show. Not only it's the very first show with Wake Up with Craig, but it's the very first day of our brand new schedule on Crafters TV. So yeah, it's going to be a fun week. I hope you can join me Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Gosh only knows what's going to happen over the next...
Who knows
even
indeed.
Next few days.
You're not along with getting the title of your own show wrong, Craig. I once filmed a travel documentary, which we did in 3 different countries, and the whole time I was making it, I thought it was called The Food Guy, and when it aired, it was called The Food Guide. I even made the show and still got the name wrong. So yes, that was... a whole month of my life calling something completely something else.
Brilliant.
So we all do it, Craig.
We do.
My mum always used to just call us what she fancied when we was little.
Well, my mum does that.
Always
my mum
call
calls
us the
me
wrong name.
every name in the family before she gets to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So call it what you want. Craig will be here every morning, Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m, waking you up. And then, of course, as part of the new schedule, remember, we'll have Craft Vault, which will be more UK-based during the 11 a.m. show, which is going to be fantastic. I'll be here with you for that. We'll have our 2 regular 2-hour shows in the middle of the day, and then we've got a Brucey bonus Craft Vault on the end of the day, which will be 7 p.m. UK time, which is what, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. West Coast, is that right? It is right, yes, I got it right, without the aid of the clocks as well. How awesome. Right, if you're here in the UK, enjoy your Saturday night. If you're across in the US, I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Big thanks to you guys at home. Massive thanks to Craig. Of course, huge thanks as well to Bianca, and thanks to the team over there somewhere in the gallery too. It's been lovely spending the day with you today, this Saturday. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another full day of crafting. Take care.
Bye.